2020 is almost over, and I hope that you are all getting into the holiday spirit because we've got some really special shows coming up. Of course, at the end of the year, that means it's awards time. It's time to give out awards to all of those players who truly earned it. So today and Wednesday, we're going to be giving out our 12 La Vida Baseball awards. We're talking the best of the best in so many categories. Ozzy, Jen, are you guys excited to give out these awards?
We are excited. I am excited.
These are the for real awards. No bias.
Yes. These are given out at a proper time when nothing else in the world is going on, like elections and stuff.
Well, hopefully the election has been decided at this point, but not to get political. We voted on these awards and we are so excited to share them with you. So be sure to tune in. Today we've got 6 of the 12, and then we're going to conclude on Wednesday with the remaining 6, the second half of our award show. So I have the envelopes. This is real time, you guys. I mean, we have envelopes. This is like the Oscars and election night and MLB MVP voting all rolled into one. Okay, so we came up with some very interesting and kind of non-traditional categories, talking about some players who are truly deserving. So first up, let's talk about the best game on the field. Okay, so this will go to one of our 3 deserving nominees. Okay, first up, here are the nominees, and then we're going to reveal the winner. First up, from Cuba and the Chicago White Sox, we have Jose Abreu. Second, we have of Dominican descent, and from the surging Slam Diego Padres, he made a lot of headlines this past season, Manny Machado, and another Dominican, but he happens to play for the new Cleveland baseball team, Jose Ramirez. 3 monster years, even though in a shortened season. So Ozzy, Jen, let's talk about all of these 3 nominees and who you think will win for best game on the field. Jen?
I'm going to go with this year's MVP, Mr. Jose Abreu. I think he deserves it. He had a great year, great season. He deserves it.
Ozzy, who you got?
I was going to go with Jose Ramirez because this guy has done everything possible to get the Cleveland baseball team where they need to be the last 3 years, and no one even talks about him. He's been a top 3 MVP candidate for 3 years. So sometimes winning the MVP is not as hard as getting top 3 every single year.
Okay, well, shall we reveal the answer? Here we have our LVB Awards envelope. Or as they say, and the envelope, please. And the winner of the best game on the field goes to Jose Abreu. I had to get dramatic with the microphone. Jose Abreu, he's named MVP of the American League, and it's no shock that he is the winner of our best game on the field. Congratulations, Jen. Ozzy, what do you think of this pick?
He deserves it. I think I agreed with Ozzy on Ramirez, but I think Abreu, we got it right.
It's hard to argue it. The guy's the MVP. His team got into the playoffs, and he was the anchor to that offense the whole year. Well-deserving. Jose Abreu, another award to his already filling wall for 2020.
All right, and counting. Congratulations, Jose Abreu. Let's keep going with our awards. Okay, so now we have, let's see, we've got the Brightest Future. Okay, there are so many, there are so many options here. Jen, who would you pick for Brightest Future?
Ooh, this is a tough one because they all have different personalities, and I love watching them all. I think that personality is very important when we're talking about Brightest Future as well. I'm going to go with Mr. Fernando Tatis Jr.
Love it. Ozzy, who's got the brightest future? I mean, we have so many options. We've got Vlad Guerrero Jr., Luis Robert, or Fernando Tatis Jr.
With all due respect to the juniors, Luis Robert has a brighter future. I'm coming from a scouting standpoint. This kid came in and in a shortened season dominated right away. His defense, I think, is completely underrated. And he's a little different type of Latino player. He goes in about his business, doesn't say much, does his talking with the bat, not a lot of swagger. He is the real deal.
But don't you think being young, kind of lends itself to having a lot of swagger? It's the one time where it's okay?
No, that's what the media wants you to think, and that's what everyone tells you that you should be like that. I think Luis Roberto, I think he's mature beyond his years, and he has fun. You look at his Snapchat, best Snapchat in the league, by the way. His Instagram's a little bit more G-rated, but his Snapchat, the guy's dancing to music and taking his shirt off and every other Snapchat.
What's his Snapchat name? We gotta look
Oh,
for
I'll
him.
send it to you. Oh, he's legit. Oh, he's legit. And I would post him after, but he has fun, but when he's on the field, he's all business. And he is a big part of this team's future. And I think that, the other two guys, their dads play Major League Baseball, so they get a lot of coverage, and they're a little bit ahead of the curve. But I think that Luis Robert, if he comes out to be what I think he can, what I saw in a short time, this guy could be one of the best players to ever put on a uniform.
Wow. Well, that is a big claim. Let's see who wins the award for Brightest Future. And the envelope says, Ozzy, you may have made a good point, but it looks like the swag wins on this one. Fernando Tatis Jr., congratulations for Brightest Future in the game. In just his second year, he finished 4th in the NL MVP voting. Congratulations, Slam Diego. I have to say, just being here in San Diego, I will say this past season, abbreviated or not, would not have been what it was if it were not for that young man.
100%.
I agree. He will be one of the top players in Major League Baseball from jersey sales, from fans following him. He has that.
From BMW sales,
sponsorship deals.
Everything.
He
has that.
Got it.
He has the it factor. He has the it factor. He has to back it up but he's a guy that off the field he gets it. Again, his dad was, just look up his dad. His dad was a great showman. So he has it. He knows it, and he has to produce on the field. And it's going to be fun. And if San Diego ever wins a World Series, you have to be a huge part of it.
All right. Well, congratulations to the swaggiest, Fernando Tatis Jr. And speaking of swag, by the way, let's give that award and I don't know if he can win in both categories because he certainly has swag. But when it comes to swag, these guys know what's up. This is an award that I could have nominated like 25 guys for, right? But unfortunately, we had to limit it and pare it down to just 3 nominees. So you won't be disappointed, trust me. First up from Puerto Rico, and as of now, he's still playing in Cleveland, Mr. Smile himself, Francisco Lindor. Also from Puerto Rico, and another shortstop who beat Lindor in the World Series with the Chicago Cubs, Javi Baez. Personally, my pick. And our last nominee is last because he's a closer, the Cuban Missile, repping New York and the Yankees, Aroldis Chapman. Jen, let's talk. Swag, wardrobe, swagger, just energy. I know you're a Yankees fan, so I'm kind of thinking you're going to pick Aroldis, but who's your choice?
So this was actually really hard, right? Even coming up with nominees is difficult because there are a lot of guys with a lot of swag. And I mean, my picks were between Francisco Lindor because this guy actually, sits and styles himself and comes up with, customizations for his outfits. But then you've got the Cuban Missile, Mr. Aroldis Chapman, who really just looks neat from head to toe. I love the suit with the sneakers, and he uses color a lot. So my pick is going to be Chapman.
He also likes to show off the thighs.
Yes.
He wears the short shorts. Who wears short shorts? He wears
the short shorts, but he's got the legs to wear them.
Yes, he does. Ozzy, who's your swaggiest?
You know what? Chapman was going to be a hard one to beat because when you're that big and you don't make things look awkward, also in a position that you have to be the intimidator. Yeah. This guy's swag on Instagram, it's a quiet swag. It's hard to beat. The other two guys are flashier on the field. They do more because we see them more. But Chapman's a quiet guy. Even when he does his interviews, he doesn't say much. But man, the way that he dresses, to where he posed, he was in Tulum, Mexico, and the guy was wearing the smallest shorts, and then he's doing like boxing classes, and he's working out. And you know what? I think that when you have other players talk about, did you see Chapman's workout? That's when you know that you've hit a level of like, oh my God, like this is impressive. So I don't like doubling up, but I think swag wise, I think Chapman has got them. The guy can dress, man. It's hard. You're that big and you can dress that good. He's not walking into a store and picking up clothes. That's all custom made, and he knows it. He doesn't say much, but he's got everything matching, and he's, spends a lot of time in the gym. I'm a big fan of his social media. He's Mr. Swag for me.
He stepped up his game as far as the gym regimen was concerned, and you can tell that it's all custom made because of the fit.
Yeah.
That's not off the rack, people. That is tailored. Okay, let's see who gets the award and the envelope, please. No, a huge upset, apparently, because both of you guys had Aroldis Chapman, but it goes to Javi Baez. Congratulations to the Cubs All-Star. You know, for me, it all goes back to the Clemente suit that he wore at the 2018 All-Star game. He saw this suit in the Roberto Clemente Museum, and he said, I got to try on this jacket. And they let him try it on, and they ended up shipping it to him to wear during the Home Run Derby. He joined the guys on ESPN, and he sat there, and he was wearing this jacket, and he just looked so awesome. He also has so much fun on social media. I'm proud of him. Congratulations, Javi.
Congrats, Javi.
This could be the hardest category moving forward. I think Javi Baez now has solidified it that he is has the most swag, but he has guys coming after him. Again,
he's also got swag on the field, so I think
he does. He's the way he carries himself.
Yeah.
Lindor, worst dresser out of the bunch.
Worst?
You think?
He's a horrendous dresser. He's like Jose Reyes reincarnated.
I like it. He's fun. He takes chances. That's what you got to do with fashion. You take risks.
I'm not. Some of the. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you in the NBA? Some of the outfits are very. Again, none of these guys can dress as my favorite guy, Edwin Encarnacion. That's a whole different conversation. Look at Jen's face. No, but again, I think it's hard to pick because swag is on the field and off the field. And again, it's hard for Chapman to come in and have as much fun as Javi. And that's why I think Javi has such a clout on this category because we see him so much. He's on the field. He's smiling. He's posting his kid. So I really hope that Chapman can win next year. He's got to step his game up. I got to send him a DM.
All right. Well, it was a tough category, but we do appreciate all of the nominees in the Best Swag group. All right. Now, moving on. If there's one thing I love on social media, it's seeing MLB players just kick back, relax, and show us some moves. So we are about to give an award in true La Vida Baseball style for which baseball player has the best moves. You've seen them on Snapchat or Instagram or on Facebook Live, just doing it and doing it well in the clubhouse or maybe on the field. So let's talk about our three nominees. We have smooth Cuban dancer from the Chicago White Sox, Yoan Moncada. Yoan is great, but don't sleep on Dominican Ronald Guzman of the Texas Rangers. And our last dancer, battling Moncada and Guzman, will be the Cuban cowboy himself, making Tampa Bay Rays proud. This guy was he just bust out onto the scene during the World Series, right? I mean, we saw the star-studded boots and all of the embellishments, and he was just rocking, okay? Randy Arozarena, just phenomenal. Who's your pick, Jen?
So my pick, and this was a fun category because, watching the guys dance, we always love to see the guys dance, but I have witnessed Ronald Guzman dance in person and dance on ass merengue. And so my pick is Ronald Guzman. So shout out to Ronald. What up, dance buddy over there. So he's my pick because I've seen it in person and he could dance. He gets down.
I love it. Is he actually teaching guys? Because there has to be another level when you can teach another guy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
True. I'll give you the one that I was the most surprised was Randy. Okay. Because you're having a dance off. By the way, Tampa Bay, they're not the world champs, but they're definitely the best dancing team in Major League Baseball. They got that can move.
Yeah.
And he came out and he was doing the Michael Jackson. This is their thing. They did it all year. I was very surprised at Randy's moves because it wasn't Latino music.
This was a team.
No, that's what I mean. This, he comes out, he challenges him. I thought he was going to come out and do like a Latino move, like a merengue or a salsa, more traditional to Cuba. He came out and he was popping and locking.
Yeah.
He's here doing some beats. I was like, wow, Randy, clean shoes. And this is way before, what he did in the World Series. So I was like, who is this guy? Great moves. But out of all the three, there's only one guy that did this professionally on a music video. Yoan Moncada. He was in a video during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
He was in a music video. He filmed. This move got him on a video. And he does it a lot. If you are around Yoan, he's always moving and dancing. But I want to see another move.
He actually
let him know.
This move in person. He
did this for Jen, but I want to see another move because this is when you're good at one move, this is his move.
Right. It's like the one thing he does really well.
Correct. So this year
Yeah.
I'll go with him because this is a 2020, but he needs to step it up next year and give me a different move because he can't give me the same move, in back-to-back music videos.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Randy on this one just because of his ability to diversify. We saw him popping and locking, but then during the World Series, he was straight up country line dancing. Like, what?
That's minor league baseball for you.
Completely unexpected, and I loved it. I loved it because what makes a great master? It's his ability to teach, and impart the knowledge onto someone else, but also their ability to learn and to keep evolving as a dancer. Not that these guys need to be dancers, but let's go to the envelope. We got it right here, and the winner of Best Moves, Ozzy. You're excited. Come get your boy, Yoan Moncada.
Yes, now he's got pressure. Video. What's the move going to be for next year? I know that he's going to be excited about this. I know that he will be excited about this. He loves his dancing. He loves that he's a good dancer. This is a good one. But he's got pressure. He's got to give me a different move for next year.
I would like to see like a head-to-head matchup between with Yoan and Randy Rosarena.
So I think Randy might be a better dancer because when you do line dancing, you're breaking. I'm sure he can dance salsa. Yoan was doing this one dance. So you might, like if you ask me, I'm a great salsa dancer, maybe merengue. But if you ask me to pop and lock, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. So I'm in one, I can only rule in one world. So we'll hopefully, I'm looking forward to more Randy moves.
That's what I said. I can vote. We can vote, but I can't like.
Oh, you can vote, yeah.
But again, this is one of my favorite categories. Guys had some swag and some moves. Hopefully, we'll see some more guys dancing in 2021.
Absolutely. The music video has spoken. Congratulations, Moncada. All right, now moving on to our next category. This is so much fun. I rarely think that guys are given enough praise. Sure, there are some wonderful MLB institutional awards out there when it comes to guys and their philanthropic abilities and their willingness to give off the field. So our category now is all about heart. Who has the biggest corazon, the biggest heart? First, a guy who's made a career out of hitting home runs and impacting the lives of every city he lives in, from the Dominican and now free agent, but he played for Minnesota last year. The boomstick, Nelson himself, Nelson Cruz. Our second difference maker is a Hall of Famer on and off the field and really showed it during COVID-19 this year, Mr. Pedro Martinez. And last but certainly not least, we have yet another future Hall of Famer who's already been helping others in Venezuela and part of the Detroit Tigers. An incredible, generous, and helpful man, Miguel Cabrera. Who's your pick, Jen?
Of course, I'm going to go with Nelson. I mean, I work closely with the foundation, and I know what we do. Helping people really need, especially during this time, during this pandemic. They're trying to set up something right now for January to free medical clinic, free dental clinic, trying to see how they can do it in the time of COVID. It's something that's done every year. So I always love what Nelson does. He has a big heart, huge heart. What Pedro did this year, though, too, does deserve a lot of admiration, getting all of the players in the Dominican Republic from the big leagues and former big league players to give back, to get together and give back to this a third world country, and it's people who were struggling during COVID. If you think people were struggling here in the U.S., think how much they were struggling out in countries like that. So, I mean, shout out to both of them.
Yeah, Ozzy, it's tough to pick just one.
No, this is a hard category because I think the guy who won the Roberto Clemente Award deserves it. He might be retiring this year. So 2021, the winner for me is Nelson Cruz. I'm nominating him already for the award because he needs to win that award before he retires. Miguel does a lot of great things. I think he's got some more to do. Pedro's awesome that he came, in his retirement, he's still doing it. But in my opinion, 2020, Nelson Cruz, hands down, because it was pre-COVID. This is something that's part of Nelson's everyday mantra, I feel like. He's always posting it on social media. He is the face of the foundation. He can tell that he's posting himself. And when you talk to him, this is something that is part of like what he wants to do. He's not only doing things in the Dominican Republic, he's doing things you could pretty much say all over the world, Latin America. And it's hard when you're a free agent. This guy's never been in a team for more than 10 years. And you can't, every team that he goes to, we saw that in Minnesota, he jumps right into the community and does what he can. Who would have thought that there was going to be a Vitilla tournament in Minnesota. Like, I would have never guessed that. So I think that for
Mm-hmm.
2020, I think that Nelson Cruz not winning the Roberto Clemente Award, he has to win this Corazon Award. This is an award that I think every player should be striving for every single year to try to get and grow your foundation, because it's not about doing something one thing. It's about growing your foundation. And as we can see, you're still doing some great things being out of the game for, at this point, Pedro's been out of the game, 8-10 years maybe?
Mm-hmm.
So keep growing them, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have a foundation on paper, but it's another thing to keep continually and perpetually going out into your community and to other communities and helping out on a consistent basis and giving back. So here's the envelope. Let's see. Hard to pick just one here, guys. And the winner is the biggest heart, Nelson Cruz.
Yay!
Well deserved.
It's to me, well deserved.
You know what, though? And again, I go back to this. I think that having a foundation, you could do a lot of great. You donate the money, do the picture op, and move on. Nelson's not that guy. He's very involved in what he does, and random and causes that really help out where he's at. Like, you can tell that he is involved in the community. He knows what the community is going through. His events seem more of someone that's in politics, that someone that's trying to get votes would do. But he's really giving back directly to the people, one-on-one. It's not, for a bigger cause. He's really affecting people on an individual basis. I'll be honest with you, I've always loved Nelson Cruz as a baseball player, but the more I've gotten to get to know Nelson off the field and what he does for his community and for his people, I admire him so much more, because I think it's not easy to do, and he's setting a great legacy for himself in the future.
Yeah, 100%. And quick anecdote, last year when we did the event, we were up early in the morning, had give trophies to some really strong students out in his community. Then we had he opened up a new police department that he founded or helped found. Then we had baseball clinic, and he had interviews with a bunch of the press that came, and I had got up to him. I was like, let me do some quick stuff with you. And then he starts the interview, and I'm like, wait. And he's like, yeah. He's like, can I eat first? He had gone literally the whole day just doing stuff, for the community, giving back and giving of himself. He always gives of himself. It's just like you said, Ozzy. It's not just, here's the money, do what you guys want. He's always there, and he's always a big presence when it comes to giving back to the community.
Yeah, definitely a big hands-on approach. Well, congratulations, Nelson Cruz. Well deserved. Now, when you think of the game of baseball, it is incredibly visual. And here at La Vida Baseball, we have one of the best baseball photographers, not just baseball photographers, but all of sports, one of the best photogs on our staff, and that is Jean Fruth. So we narrowed down, this was very tough to do, narrowed down of her entire library of 2020 impactful baseball photos. We narrowed them down to just a few nominees when it comes to the greatest image here, the best photograph in baseball. So let's get to the three most eye-catching nominees. First up, from the last real games, one of the last real games played in front of a full stadium. That's right. It was the Caribbean Series. If you remember, it seems like ages ago, maybe 8 years ago. I don't know. But our second nominee screams 2020. Oh, goodness, 2020, the year that was. The complete opposite of our first photo is a photo of an empty stadium on opening day. And in San Francisco, unless you count the cardboard cutouts, of course. And at number 3, we have a photo that basically tells it all. And they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So here's one worth at least 2020. The Juan Marichal statue with the ominous sky from the devastating California fires in the background. So let's look at this one closely. We can see these images. This one, as a California resident, this one resonates with me because the California wildfires were not just in Northern California. They were spread throughout the biggest state. And it was incredibly threatening to so many communities, and so many communities were devastated. And it does seem like a long time ago here where we stand in December of 2020, but this was an incredible threat, and it kind of kicked off the devastation that 2020 brought. So just a very sobering image. Jen, do you have a favorite?
This one was by far my favorite image all year. When I saw that picture, I was just like, wow. And to think that players were playing under those conditions as well. 2020, if encapsulated in one image, was this for a very long time. Dark, ominous. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, thankfully.
Yeah. Ozzy, do you have a favorite?
You know what? It's hard. It's been a bad year when wildfires are not going to win it. The wildfires have a competition. I really, I think that in history, that empty stadium is going to be something that we're always going to remember in Major League Baseball, because I hope it never happens again. In the sense of it's never happened in my lifetime. And it was ironic because for me, I was at the Caribbean Series, and that's how the year was starting. Baseball was back. It was so much fun, so exciting. We had such a great time. It's a great kickoff to what baseball season is. And then opening day, and it shows me in the pictures. I love pictures, and Gene's one of the best in our sport, in our industry. How quickly things can change. Mm-hmm. This is less than a couple months apart from one another, and we were so excited and so happy. And then this looks so plain and sad, but then we were still happy here because we were having baseball, which is the other part, which I think that this is why it's my favorite picture, because it shows, even in the worst of times, they made it happen. I had lots of conversations with players, executives, former players. They didn't think they were going to play baseball. Guys were eating themselves away, and we're not going to play. There's no way, and it happened. They played, they made it happen, and it was fun. So this one picture shows that in 2020, that even though in the worst of times, Major League Baseball made it happen.
Yeah, you make a great case for that photo. I mean, that was one of my favorites as well. It's kind of a tie for me because this one truly encapsulates sort of the desperation, if I can use one word to sum it up. It just seems that at that point, there was just really no knowing how the season was going to unfold and if people were going to be healthy enough to keep playing, players, that is. So there is a certain sadness to this photo as well. But here's the envelope. Let's see who will win, which photo will win. And the award goes to the Juan Marichal photo with, he is set against the ominous California sky of the wildfires in San Francisco. Congratulations. And job well done to Gene Fruth, who is just such an incredible artist and one of the best photographers out there. We are so lucky to have you here on La Vida Baseball. And thank you so much for watching and checking it out. That's going to do it for this first half of our La Vida Baseball Awards. But be sure to tune in on Wednesday, where we will reveal the second half of our La Vida Baseball Awards with 6 more categories and many more winners. Thanks for watching, everyone.